Leonardo da Vinci once said that time waits just long enough for those who use it. So the question is, what are you doing with your time? We all have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your time? Are you building your dream? Or are you helping someone else build theirs? Are you putting in the work every single day, every single moment of now? Are you planning for your future? They say planning is bringing the future into the present so you can do something about it now. So the question is this: what are you doing with your time? Remember, the time is always now. Joining me for the Time Is Always Now podcast. My name is Terence Young. I'm your host for the podcast today. And this is a podcast that helps people get past their excuses. Past saying they're going to do it someday or one day and saying I'm going to do it right now because now is the only time we have. I'm a new thought transformational speaker. I'm a mindset coach, and I help people get past their paradigms and help people harness the power in the eternal moment of now. That's what it's all about. If you want to donate to the podcast, by all means, you can do so just by going to my website. It is TerenceYoungNow.com. So feel free to go there, and thank you in advance for donating to the podcast. Every single week on the podcast, we have a theme that I pull from the Time Is Always Now Facebook group. So if you haven't joined the Time Is Always Now Facebook group, by all means, join us over there. It's a great group of like-minded people who all want to change their lives for the better, continue to get better, continue to improve, continue to live their lives to the fullest possibility by harnessing the power in the eternal moment of now. You can't do everything right now, but you can do something right now, and whatever that is, do that. So you'll be encouraged, you'll be inspired, you'll be challenged, all of those things. So join us over there. So we have a theme every single week, and this week's theme was stay calm. How do you stay calm in the midst of all the chaos? And so each week I like to go in and I like to give something tangible you can use in your life right here, right now. Anytime I give any advice or I'm just speaking in general or talking, I want to give you something tangibly you can use in your life to improve your life right here, right now. That's what it's all about. So how can we stay calm? I'm going to share 3 ideas with you, 3 concepts on how you can use this in your life right here, right now. First quote that I use is this: you must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyway. You were never in control anyway. Right? I was laid off from, I've been laid off from 2 jobs in 3 years or 3.5 years or so. And I remember being so stressed out the first time I was laid off. And then for a little while I was looking for a job and getting all stressed thinking what was going to happen, And then I realized, then I found another job, and then I got laid off from that job too, just recently during COVID. And I remember being stressed both times at first. Where's the money going to come from, and how am I going to do what I need to do? And then I realized, you're not in control. I wasn't in control. If you work for somebody else, you're not in control. They can lay you off any day they want. You're not in control. So why be stressed about those things? Continue to move forward with your life. And I've recognized now how easily I can continue to move forward, especially during this pandemic. And life just unfolds, and I create new opportunities for myself. And everything happens at the right time. What we want to do is trust this, that life is always happening for your unfolding good. So even when something like getting laid off from a job happens, recognize that's happening for your unfolding good. That's the key. That's the key right there. Just trust and have faith that God is always working for you. This is not, I'm not saying it's easy. Don't get me wrong. It's hard. It's very hard. So when you're going through a difficult situation, say to yourself, okay, universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, I know you're working something through me right now. What can I learn from this situation? Great question to ask. What can I learn? What am I being taught right now? I know this is working ultimately for my unfolding good, even though I'm in a difficult situation. That's not easy to do, but when you can get to that point, then you'll understand how to stay calm in the midst of a struggle, in the midst of the chaos that's going on. And we got a whole lot of chaos right now. So that's the first one right there. Let go. Let go of the stress. You're not in control. That's the thing. People are stressed because they think they're in control. You get laid off from your job like I did. Like I thought I was in control. I was never in control. You're never in control when you work for somebody else. You can be laid off tomorrow, and I don't care what you do. Unless you own the company, you are not in control. Release the stress. Recognize you're not in control, and then recognize that the world, the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is always working for your unfolding good. So whatever you're going through, it's working for your unfolding good. That's powerful. Number 2 is this, right? Do not learn how to react, learn how to respond. I shared this story this week in the group, the Time Is Always Now Facebook group. My son, when he was 16 years old, right? 16 years old, and I was taking him to his girlfriend's house. And it's about don't learn how to react, learn how to respond. There's a difference. I take him to his girlfriend's house, and she was supposed to be there. She wasn't there. Her mom was supposed to be there. Her mom wasn't there. The only person there was her dad. Me, my 16-year-old son, and the girlfriend's dad are the only people there. He only speaks Spanish. And I could tell whatever he was saying, he didn't want my son there. So me and my son's like, he's staying. And I'm like, no, you're not staying. I'm not leaving you with this guy. Where's the mom? Where's the girl? And we ended up getting into an argument. I told T to get in the car. He said no. And at that moment, I had my daughter with me. I told him, I need to get in the car. And he said no. And I said, get in the car. And I went to grab him to put him in the car. And I grabbed his shirt and I missed. And he got away. And then I realized at that moment, I said, this is not going the way it should go. I said, he's 16. He's upset. And I'm upset. I'm his father. I got in my car. I said, I'm leaving. And I left him there. And I remember that. The point is that moment when I went to grab him, I was reacting. And when I got a chance to breathe, then I responded. And the right response was to diffuse that situation. We must learn how to react and not respond. I responded by getting in the car, leaving, calling his mother. We took some time, came back. The girlfriend got there, the mom got there, everything was fine. But in that moment, I reacted first. Then I responded. And what I've learned now is I learned how to respond before reacting. And that is so important, right? When you're reacting, you're in your subconscious mind. Now there are a few times when you need to react. You could be in imminent danger and you need to react immediately. That's great. But in most circumstances, when you're dealing with another person or whatever's going on in your life, we must learn how to respond. And how do you do that? You breathe. That's why I talk so much about meditation, and I do meditation every week. Friday morning meditation, join me. As a matter of fact, every Friday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live. So do meditation to get yourself to breathe. If you're in a difficult situation, before you open your mouth, before you react, breathe. Concentrate on your breathing. Step back, don't say a word. Take 3 deep breaths. It will calm you down. This is about being able to stay calm so you can learn how to not react, but learn how to respond. So just breathe. That's the most important thing. Then you can, what's that saying? Never make a permanent decision in a temporary, when you're temporarily upset. So true. Think about it. That's exactly what I'm saying here. Never make a permanent decision. Like I'm moving to California because this one thing happened. No, slow down. Breathe first. Okay? Don't just react. Respond. If you do that, you'll stay calm in any situation. Number 3, the chaos doesn't end. I love this. The chaos doesn't end. You just become the calm. This is important to understand. In our lives, the chaos is going on around. It never is going to end. That's not the point. Life just happens. The important thing is how we respond to what happens. See, what's going on outside in the world? That's chaos. There's going to be chaos. There's always going to be chaos. But where's the calm come from? The calm comes from inside you. That's where it comes from. Right? If you're dealing with these, what's going on in our politics in our country right now, it's going to happen. That's never going to change. Is it heightened? Absolutely, it's heightened right now. But we got to deal with it. But you have to deal with it by staying calm within yourself. You have to deal with it by staying calm. It's always going to be chaos. But you become the calm within it. I love having these conversations with people about what's going on in our politics and everything right now. This thing right now about our rights is so fascinating, right? It's so fascinating because you have people saying they don't, we're taking away their right to not wear a mask and their right to take the vaccine or not take the vaccine, right? But we have overlapping rights, right? And people seem to be so confused about this, but it's not confusing to me. You have overlapping rights. You have a right that you don't want to take a vaccine and you don't want to wear a mask. You do have that right. But you also have other people's rights too, right? You have other people's rights who are saying, I don't want to get COVID or whatever because you don't have a mask on. I don't want my kids to get COVID. I don't want my kids to bring it home, right? I don't want to get sick because you're not wearing a mask or you didn't take the vaccine. Those are overlapping rights, and both people have those rights. That's so true. Both people have those rights. Let's compare it to smoking. 50 years ago, whatever, probably less than that, you could smoke on an airplane, smoke right in the office you worked in, right next to the person who didn't smoke. And they had to breathe in your harmful secondhand smoke. But then the government and private companies stepped in, not even the government, private companies said, no, you're not going to smoke inside the building because your right to smoke is infringing on someone's right who doesn't want to inhale smoke. So you both have rights. You have the right to smoke. The other person has the right not to smoke, right? You both have rights. There's okay. But if you choose to smoke, you're going to have to abide by some rules. You're going to have to go in a specific smoking section outside somewhere or in those airports where you have those rooms for people to smoke. Those are the rules because your right to smoke should not infringe on someone else's right to breathe clean air. The same thing with this COVID thing and this mask. Your right to wear a mask or not to wear a mask is your right. But if you want to walk in Publix and they say you got to put a mask on, then you have to put a mask on because that's Publix's right to keep their people safe. Why is this so hard? So if you don't want to wear a mask in Publix, then don't go to Publix. Order your groceries and have them delivered to you. There you go. You still have a right. No one took your right away. Don't wear a mask. You just can't go into Publix. Right? If you don't want to, take the vaccination and work for a certain company, that's fine. You still have the right. They didn't take your right away. No one's going to hold you down and stick you with a needle. It's not going to happen. But if the company says we require that our employees take the vaccine because we have a right to keep our employees safe, and if you don't want to do that, you still have your right. No one's going to stick a needle in you. You just have to go work somewhere else. You keep your right. We have overlapping rights, and it's going to be chaos. There's going to be chaos. So how do you stay calm in that? You got to breathe. We all have to be able to breathe and slow things down and focus on this, challenging your belief. This is so powerful. That's why I'm creating a course on this, challenging what you believe. We have this thing in our country where people just watch the media that tells them what they already want to hear. But if you really want to get to a place of calmness, you got to challenge your beliefs and say, wow, there's people out there saying things that are totally different than what I believe. I need to check this out to challenge my beliefs, check the temperature on where my beliefs are. Am I only hearing what I want to hear? Am I actually listening to another voice? It's difficult. It's difficult to do, but we got to do it. If you want to stay calm and not mess with all the, and not let the chaos out there get to you, pay attention. Pay attention. Challenge those beliefs and remember to breathe and stay calm. If you do that, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. I appreciate you joining me for this edition of the Time Is Always Now podcast. I am looking forward to doing more of these as we go forward. Join me. It's every single week. And you can listen to it on any of the places where you listen to podcasts. Just search for the Time Is Always Now podcast. So thank you for joining me for this episode of the Time Is Always Now podcast. Remember to share it with your friends, with your family, with everyone, and get this message out there. I want people to get this message. You got to be able to stay calm. You got to be able to relax your minds and challenge those beliefs. Go out there and challenge those beliefs, because what you believe and what someone else believes, you need to put it to the test. That's how we get to truth. And we got to get back to that understanding. That's how we get back to being calm. I don't hate you because you think something different than me. I want to talk to you. Let's see what we can let's see what we have in common. That's what we need. We can do that. We can change our world. With that, I'm going to sign off. Remember, this is TY, and remember, the time is always